Hi everyone! So in this video I wanted to touch up on two topics. First of which, recently I have been getting new piercings, mostly in my ears, and I wanted to show them to you because I haven't made separate videos about them. And the second topic, I thought that you guys would like to know what type of piercings over the years I have removed. Whether I had done them myself when I was younger and I fucked them up, or whether they just, grew out, or I grew tired of them and just took them out. So on this ear, I had done my forward helix. So these are traguses. I didn't make a video about me getting another tragus, but yeah, I got my traguses, second tragus, and then my forward helix done. And then on this ear I also got this third one here done. These are normal earlobe piercings. I thought that they were really quirky and cute because I haven't seen people do double normal earlobe piercings, so it just sort of like happened that I started doing them because I had a lot of area to pierce. So I'm very happy because this is a very unique thing, even though it's a very simple thing, but I really adore them. So on this ear, I hope you can see, so again I got my forward helix done, two traguses, and I got conches here. I have three conches. I started with the middle one a long time ago, and then I got two more, and on this side I only have two conches, but at some point I'm doing the third conch in this ear as well. But the reason why I have put it off is because conch piercings for me heal the hardest and the longest, and I have the most trouble with them of any piercing, and it's definitely a hassle and it's painful to pierce. So I'm a little afraid of doing it, but I know that I will at some point. And also on this ear I did get the double row of normal earlobe piercings. And yeah, so I'm also making a video about my dermal experience again because I got my one of my dermals redone recently, and yeah, you can see that I have two now. So I'll be making a separate video, so I'm not really including this in the video, but I can say that again, I got another dermal done, if it counts as a recent piercing. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking to you about the piercings that I have taken out over the years. One of the first piercings that I took out was my eyebrow piercing. An eyebrow piercing is basically a surface piercing, and anything that is placed horizontally on the skin does have a very high risk of migrating or rejecting, and my eyebrow piercing also just rejected. After a piercing has rejected, you have the opportunity of re-piercing the area if there's enough tissue, and with eyebrow piercings usually there is, and the scar tissue that has formed under the skin might actually help hook the piercing in there better so it doesn't grow out the second time. But once I removed it, I was like, it's not me. Like, an eyebrow piercing wasn't me, and I basically decided to remove it, but also it grew out. So two decisions basically made me take it out. Another piercing was my side lip. Now there I do have a scar. I'm gonna show it to you. If you can see that little hole there. That was my first piercing ever, and I just, again, that was a piercing that I grew tired of. Lip piercings don't really grow out, nothing really happens to them if they're done correctly, but there was this, I've always been a person who likes symmetry, and I had the choice of either doing a second one here on the side or taking it out. So because I wore a hoop there and it just looked weird, it just looked like I was a teenager, and at that time when I did wear it I was a teenager, but then I sort of grew older and I understood that this was not the look that I was going for, and during the time I had the lip, I had the eyebrow piercing as well, so this way diagonally it was symmetrical, but both of those piercings to me were very like, I'm 14 and I'm a rebel type of piercings. Not to put any sort of negative connotation to any sort of piercing, but to me, at some point, I just grew out of it. One of the piercings that I fucked up myself was a rook piercing. At the moment, I do have both of my rooks pierced. I'm gonna show them to you. Oh, I'm gonna show one so you know, sorry, what I'm talking about. So it's this piercing here, this little banana right there. And it's a cartilage piercing. And I did it myself, and I had literally no idea what I was doing. And I did it at home. And I pierced it, but it was so painful. And I just sort of like quit halfway or something, and it did not go well at all. And yeah, so I didn't put the jewelry in there, I didn't do anything, I just pierced the area and then just was like done with it. Also, I have done a few cartilage piercings and a few earlobe piercings that I have taken out because again, this was all when I started piercing, and the first person you kind of start experimenting on is yourself, usually, when you want to pierce someone or you want to be a piercer. And I pierced some part of my cartilage, or I thought that I was going to pierce the cartilage, but it only went through the skin part, not the cartilage part, and I knew that I fucked up then. And this does happen, especially when you're piercing yourself and when you don't know what the heck you're doing. And yeah, so I just took it out again and just left it to heal and got it like normally pierced years later. So the next 3 piercings were all oral piercings, and the first one being my smiley. Usually people like to make the smiley piercing visible, so they wear a very large metal circular barbell in there, and that damages the teeth and gums. I wore my smiley for years without any trouble, but I had a curved barbell in there with very tiny beads. But after years of wearing it and having no trouble, I found out about 2 weeks ago, well, I didn't find out, but I really started to look at my gums, and I found that there was a little dent there the size of a tiny bead, and I understood that this was caused by my smiley piercing, and I decided to take it out because I mean, nobody really saw my smiley piercing, and I only knew that it was there, and it didn't really have any sort of purpose. So I really got worried that at some point there would be severe damage to my gums or teeth, and it's located right above your front teeth, so I didn't really want anything to happen to my teeth. The same with basically the frowny piercing. Now, if a smiley is located under the upper lip, then the frowny piercing is located under the lower lip. And with the frowny, I wore it for actually about a month, I think, but then I took it out because it was really, really uncomfortable. The problems, if I had kept my frowny, would have been the same with the smiley, so after years of wearing it, I would most likely have seen a dent somewhere and took it out. But the frowny was more uncomfortable for me. The lower lip moved a lot, and I rested my hand on my lower lip, and I sort of felt the piercing all the time. And it got so annoying that in one point I just took it out and I was like done with it. Even though it healed well, and again, didn't exactly have any problems with it, healing wise. The third piercing that I took out was my tongue web piercing. Now the same as my smiley, I had it for years and I had no problems. Usually people know within a month or 2 whether the tongue web is going to suit them or not, meaning whether it was done correctly and it doesn't swell up at random times. For some people, the tongue web piercing can cause swelling under the tongue and the tongue itself for like on and off, and we can't really explain it. I've had my colleagues tell me that this has happened to them, and I had friends and clients, and with me I had no problems for years. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It was one of those piercings that healed super quickly for me, and I did it myself at home and I loved it, and it complemented the 3 tongue piercings that I already have. So the reason why again I got it done, or I did it myself, was to complement the other tongue piercings. Usually the tongue web piercing is a pretty pointless piercing on its own. You don't really get to do anything with it, you don't get to show it, it's basically pointless. So yeah, so that's why I got it done. And then recently, about 2 weeks ago, the same with The same with when I took my smiley out. It started stinging. It started creating this weird sensation which I had no explanation for, and every time I had the jewelry in there, it sort of just really started to hurt. But it was a very specific type of pain which I can't really describe. I can only attempt to describe it as a stinging sensation, and I kept it out for a week or a week and a half, and I tried it again a few days prior to making this video. I tried to put it in, the jewelry, and it went in, but the stinging sensation was instantly there. So I guess I took it as a sign that this is my time to take out the tongue web piercing, and I did it, and I can honestly say that I don't regret taking it out. Sometimes you might love a piercing a lot, like you might be super excited to get it done, and you might love during the healing process you might not have any trouble with it and no problems, and you might really be happy. But at some point, even after the healing process is done and everything's good and beautiful, at some point, at some random time, your body might just say, no, you're done with this piercing, this is not for you. And there's really no explanation for it. And the same with my tongue web. This was the same case. So unfortunately, this does happen, but you have to take your body into consideration. You only have one body, and if it's telling you and showing you that this isn't working out, then as a piercer, I can honestly say, pick your health over vanity. It's sometimes very hard, but it needs to be done. So the next two piercings, or I should say 3 piercings, were all located in the chest area. The first of which being my sternum. The sternum piercing is a surface piercing placed between the breasts. And I got the scar tattooed over, so I don't know how much you can see, but I'm gonna try to show you. So this is my tattoo, and here, like, there's a little hole, and then I can't even see the bottom one. I think maybe somewhere here. At the moment I can't really locate it, but this one is the scar from the first one. I took it out because it grew out, and it migrated and rejected, and it left a pretty nasty scar there, and I got it tattooed over. And I have made so many videos on it, so if you want to know the in-depth of what I had to go through, then I will link them down below. I also took out my nipple piercings. There wasn't really anything wrong with the nipple piercings. They were fine, they were healed, everything was cool, but they constantly did annoy me, and eventually I was just like, just take them out. Like, at first when I got them done, the first year I was so in love with them. I was like, if I had to pick my favorite piercing, I would pick my nipple piercings. But then like a few months ago when I took them out, I just really felt more annoyed with them than in love with them, and that's when I understood that I had to take them out. And with a lot of piercings that people grow out of, mainly it's because they either start annoying you more and you realize that you don't really like them so much as you did when you got them done, or you find out that you don't really need the piercing. Sometimes, piercings, they're for vanity purposes, and you feel like they accentuate something, some part of your body, or bring attention to it, to the part that you want to bring attention to. But then at some point you might find that you don't really need the piercing there to bring attention to that part of the body. And yeah, so I took out my sternum and I took out my nipples. And then one piercing, which again I have made a whole video about, is my dermal. And I took one out and I got it redone just a few days ago. So I'm going to show you the scar of the dermal piercing as well. Hoping I can see. Ooh. Okay, so this little dot here is the scar of the initial dermal piercing. So it's a little red right now, and I'm hoping it's gonna go down, but I can't be sure. With my skin, usually my scars stay red. A lot of people have the amazing ability, or at least not an ability, but their body, when it gets a scar, it sort of turns white and blends in with the skin. With my body, if I get a scar, it's gonna stay red and it doesn't go white. So, but this you can't really predict this, what's gonna happen. So those were all of the piercings that I have taken out throughout the years. If you have any questions, then leave them down below and I will answer them in the comments, or if I get a lot of questions about one topic, I will make a separate video on this. So see you guys in my next video. Bye!